Smith and Nelson in the morning on 94.9 KYSS FM.
Nelson in the morning, 94.9 KYSS FM. It's a Monday. Mondays were made for recapping. That's what we do every Monday. A little look back with the weekend that was.
That's right. Did you do anything this past weekend? It was Father's Day, but I know your family wasn't really in town, right?
You know, not a lot, because last weekend I did the road trip.
Right.
And then we kind of, I'm pretty sure we passed somewhere on the freeway.
We must have, I guess, yeah.
On Wednesday, you were headed to Washington, and I was headed back to Montana, so somewhere I think we crossed paths.
I guess so, yeah.
But basically, I did the road trip last weekend and got back on Wednesday night, so it was like back to work Thursday and Friday, and then it was like Saturday and Sunday was just
yes.
But
a crash on the couch. Yeah.
And like you said, we all went west, but then my family stayed behind, so I'm kind of rocking it solo.
Right.
So it was I had nothing I had to get done, no kids I had to keep eyes on, no errands to run, places to go, things to do. So no, I laid around. I was pretty lazy for the weekend. Did some binge watching on with TV shows. I think the only thing productive I did was replace the battery in my car.
Nice.
But other than that, nope. Laid low and did not do a whole lot of anything.
That sounds like a pretty good weekend.
It was glorious.
Yes, sounded the opposite of what I was doing. Yeah, we passed each other on the freeway. I guess we must have. But yeah, on Wednesday, we drove out to. I thought we were staying in Seattle. Turns out our Airbnb was kind of more near Tacoma. But we were in Washington, and we were going because back in earlier this year, for my girlfriend's birthday, I bought her tickets to go see Halsey at the White River Amphitheater in Auburn. So we were road tripping it out to Seattle. We stayed at an Airbnb near Tacoma. Went to the show on Thursday, hung out in downtown Tacoma that day too, and did all that kind of stuff, which was a lot of fun. Friday, spent the day in Seattle and kind of just hit a lot of stuff there. Went to Pike's Place Market. Went to Smith Tower in Seattle, which I'd never been to. And, yeah, got to go do the whole self-guided tour thing there and hang out in the bar upstairs and, all that kind of stuff. Kind of exploring some shops in downtown Seattle and all that. And then on Saturday, we were road tripping back. But we didn't just stop straight in Montana. We also made a stop in Spokane and went to go see Bare Naked Ladies, Gin Blossoms, and Toad the Wet Sprockets. Over at Northern KYSS.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was a pretty kind of whirlwind couple of days. Just a lot of stuff that was happening.
And then you watched the show, and then you didn't stay the night.
No. We think I'm going to spend money.
You came back right after the show.
We just spent so much money the past couple of days on the Airbnb and hanging out in Seattle and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So, and gas, too. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I was like, I'm not spending money on a hotel. I'm just going to trek it back and do it again. So after the show, we had driven all day from Seattle to Spokane. Then I was like, well, it kind of breaks up the day a little bit. We can just go to the concert, and then it's like a 3-hour drive back. But that 3-hour drive, like dead at night, Spokane to Missoula is kind of rough.
Yeah.
It's completely dark out. There's not a lot of light. It's a lot of like curves. There's a ton of road work going on that entire time.
Driving 4, 5, 6 hours.
Absolutely,
already.
Yeah. My girlfriend was asleep the entire time, so there was no help on that end either. But still, it was a good time. I mean, the show was great, so that was great. And we drove back, got into Missoula at like 3:30 in the morning, I want to say, something along those lines.
Wow.
And then just slept straight until noon on Sunday, basically. I woke up and I was like, it must be like 9 o'clock or something. My girlfriend's like, it's noon. I was like, what?
That's great. That's great.
And then, kind of Sunday, just had the same, just crashed, didn't do anything, spent the entire day on the couch, and that was pretty nice.
Hurts to fill up that tank, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
You do it before you leave town.
Yes.
You're not coming back on that same tank. You fill it up again.
Absolutely, yeah. At least $200 spent on gas that entire time, too. Yeah,
brutal.
it was rough.
There you go. All right. Busy one. And,
it was.
I think you win.
Yeah.
Much more busy than I.
But you had a busier week, like the previous few days. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, you slept until noon yesterday, get the batteries recharged, ready to roll?
Yes. Well, yeah, I guess that's also the add-on to it. I'm doing it again tonight. Going to see Tenacious D in Spokane at Northern KYSS. Yeah, so I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to the show and then coming straight back. So I'll be getting in probably around the same time, 3:30 in the morning tomorrow.
Might as well just come here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, the difference is I didn't take off work like an idiot. And so instead, I'm coming to work the next day. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll get a great recap tomorrow morning,
Getting extremely tired one half of the morning show.
Tomorrow's segment. Be listening for The Monday That Was with Mike Smith.
When it's country in Superior, it's Montana's country leader, 94.9 KYSS FM. say? What they tweet? What they do? It's what's making news in the world of country music. This is the Music City 60 on 94.9 KISS FM.
Yes, it is your Music City 60 for the morning, and Faith Hill is saying that she was told to stop shaving her armpits before filming the Yellowstone spinoff 1883 because the show's creator, Taylor Sheridan, demands authenticity from his actor. She says that Taylor called my husband. We were at our nephew's wedding. He said, who's going to be the one to tell your wife that she has to stop shaving her arms? And I'm thinking, what? We're at a wedding. Can this wait? He goes, no, stop tonight. That was a few months before they started filming, gave her enough time to do it. And then her other authentic gripes included wearing a corset that crushed her ribs and having to do her business outdoors.
I can see all of that.
Yeah.
Video making the rounds. Kenny Chesney performing in Philadelphia when he cut his finger on stage and kept singing and his blood was gushing from his finger. One of the road crew guys came out and was taping Kenny's fingers in the middle of the song, though.
Wow.
Kenny just kept going. Funny video, though, is he's just kind of just doing the lyrics to the song with one hand stretched out, and you got a guy sitting there taping his finger. He's got a guitar in his hand, so I'm guessing maybe on like a string.
Must have been on the string or something like that.
But there you go. Road crew getting called into duty.
He really got blisters on me fingers. Whiskey Myers had to postpone Saturday's show in Brandon, Mississippi, because several members of the band tested positive for COVID, which is unfortunate. This is due to positive COVID cases of several members. Our show at the amphitheater being postponed. Rescheduled to Saturday, August 20th. Their friends Shane Smith and the Saints and the Weathered Souls will be with them on the new date, and that's around the same time they'll actually be in Missoula playing at the Big Sky Amphitheater.
Yeah, early August.
Yeah.
All right, final one. Keith Urban talking about his very first royalty check that he received, $20,000. Not a bad little bonus.
Not bad at all.
He was asked, I guess, in an interview what he spent his first royalty check on. His answer was a car. Says he had a 92 Chevy Caprice, and he really wanted an Impala SS. Jumped online, found one at in a car yard, and basically said he blew the entire check on it. Not too shabby.
There you go.
You're probably getting like the advice, invest it,
right?
Put some away.
Yeah, put some of that away. I mean, save that money and just use it on a car. It's
blow
fine.
It all.
Yeah,
I think it worked out all right for Keith, though.
It did, yeah.
And now you're in the know with Nashville. Smith and Nelson's Music City 60, 94.9 KISS FM. This is what's newsy and noteworthy with Smith and Nelson on 94.9 KISS FM.
Yes, it is. What's newsy and noteworthy for your morning? And a guy in the UK says he finally kicked his addiction to Pepsi that was costing him over $700 a month. He says that he got hooked on it over 20 years ago, and he's been drinking it all day, every day since then. He works at a grocery store, so easy access. Until recently, he drank up to 10 liters of Pepsi a day. Says he was spending about $8,600 a year. That's roughly $25 a day on Pepsi, more than $170,000 over the course of 20 years. He realized he needed help when his weight kept ticking up, and he passed the 250-pound mark. His doctor also worried about diabetes. He recently saw a hypnotist. They say they knocked it out in a single session. Not sure what they did, but he didn't want Pepsi after that. Wasn't even in person. It was on Zoom. And, he drank his first glass of water in 20 years. Hasn't gone back. Says he's dropped over 40 pounds already.
Oh, man. Okay. How about this? Kind of cool. Anonymous Good Samaritan in New York recently bought $1,000 worth of Happy Meals at a local McDonald's.
Okay.
Had McDonald's workers distribute the Happy Meals to kids in need. Very cool. And then the McDonald's owner matched the donation and gave out Happy Meals at 9 of their other restaurants.
That's great. Love that.
Someone does something good, you go, oh, yeah, okay. Let me do that too.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Triumph the Insult Comic Dog has been arrested. Well, I mean, he's a puppet, but Triumph and crew members from The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and Robert Smigel, who, of course, is behind Triumph, they were arrested on Thursday night by Capitol Police, charged with illegal entry. They were at the Capitol to record interviews for Comedy Bit. Everything was authorized and prearranged, but after they wrapped up the interviews, they stayed to film some stand-ups and other kind of bits in the halls. And then a statement from Capitol Police said the building was closed to visitors. These individuals were determined to be part of a group that had been directed by the police to leave the building earlier in the day. This is an active criminal investigation. May result in additional charges after consultation with the U.S. attorney. So that might be the last time the Triumph the Insult Comic Dog visits the Capitol.
I mean, what other charges can you have? You arrest you for basically trespassing.
Yeah, basically.
That's kind of all you did.
Sounds like it was mostly a misunderstanding. I don't know.
All you did. What other charges can you have?
Very weird.
How about these pump pirates? Newsweek has a story where it says gas thieves using phone apps to buy gas at discounted prices. This is in Virginia. Cops were called to a gas station last week after a big line started forming at one particular pump. They investigated it, found that thieves had installed a device on the pump that allowed them to control the price through an app on their phone. They were selling the cheap gas to people that had contacted them and were kind of in their circle on social media. The two people were eventually arrested and charged with grand larceny and conspiracy.
Man.
Yeah, they got 8 open pumps. Everybody's lined up 10 deep on pump number 4.
You start to think something's a little bit suspicious,
Yeah,
but these guys sound like folk heroes, honestly.
You're right. Real life Robin Hood. Right?
Yeah, exactly. This is a crazy story. Cops in Florida were parked along the highway on Wednesday when they saw a car speeding down the road, swerving across multiple lanes. They pulled the driver over and asked all 4 men inside to step outside the vehicle. They later told the men they were free to go. The 3 passengers walked back, but they noticed the driver kind of hesitated. They looked closer, noticed he was kind of making a hand gesture behind his back, which kind of simulated someone firing a gun. They called him back. He told them to pretend like they were writing him a ticket because he was being kidnapped by the other 3 guys in the car and that they had guns. The cops did, and they announced they needed to search the car. They found the guns. They arrested the 3 passengers. According to the police, they broke into the driver's home, stole cash, and then demanded he drive them 2 hours to Miami where they could go to get more of his money.
What a wild story.
Yeah, not clear why they wanted him to drive them, but either way, glad that he was able to kind of figure out a way out of that. That's crazy.
That's scary.
Yeah.
All right, final one. Someone has paid $19 million to have a private steak lunch with billionaire investor Warren Buffett, which is just crazy.
Yes,
$19 million.
And especially if you're going to spend that money with Warren Buffett, it should be a buffet, right?
You would think.
Warren Buffett's buffet.
The cool part is proceeds from the lunch go to a nonprofit organization, which helps combat poverty, hunger, and homelessness. So that's the cool part.
Yeah.
They started the bidding at $25,000.
Wow.
And it went all the way up to $19 million.
That's pretty wild.
So very cool that organization is going to receive that much money.
Yeah.
There you go. Newsy and noteworthy for the morning with KISS.
Studio and available 24/7 with the KISS mobile app.
Turn it up.
Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM.
Nelson, 94.9 KISS FM. Your first Kenny Chesney code word coming up at 8:20 this morning. In just moments, talking about the fact that 4th of July is just 2 weeks away.
Yes, it is. Yeah, which is kind of crazy to think about.
What's going on around town for the 4th? Got that in just moments. First, we tell you part of the morning brought to you by Taco Time.
That's right. Try the new Impossible Nacho Burrito. You won't believe how much Impossible meat tastes like seasoned ground beef, but it's 100% vegetarian. A delicious combination of Impossible meat and your favorite nacho ingredients, all wrapped in a home-style tortilla. It's Nacho Average Burrito. The Impossible Nacho Burrito only for a limited time at Taco Time in North Reserve.
All right. Check out your KISS FM mobile app.
I could feel it coming, like from the beginning of the sentence. I was like, oh, man, I got to say it. The Nacho Average Burrito. It's happening.
Your KISS FM mobile app with both of these stories talking about the 4th of July. One from last week, the fact that the fireworks will not be happening over at Southgate Mall this year.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
Which is kind of weird, too, in the sense that most events are like getting back and getting full force again.
And it happened last year, too, I'm pretty sure.
It did,
didn't it? Yeah.
I went and checked it out last year.
Right.
We watched the show. So kind of interesting. They won't be doing fireworks. They're calling it a temporary cancellation, which
I
guess hopefully means they'll be back next year.
Okay, all right.
But then
take that.
Really like no reason behind it either. It was just like a generic cancellation.
They didn't really give any kind of like actual reason behind it. That's so strange. It's weird.
So no fireworks over at the mall. If you usually kind of plan your day, going to some of the fun over there, and then finding a spot to watch the show. Yeah, no fireworks at the mall this year. Over at Fort Missoula, though, it will be the return of the 4th at the Fort.
All right. So this is like a daytime event for 4th of July that happens over there.
Yeah, this is kind of earlier in the day, so you can kind of do it, have some fun, and then still before you could plan to maybe go and watch the mall show, but not so much this year.
Now you have to make some alternate plans. I mean, the Paddleheads must be doing their fireworks night around that time too, right?
Theirs is Friday night.
Okay, so it wouldn't be the actual 4th of July.
Yeah, I think theirs is on the Friday the 1st.
Yeah.
But over at the Fort, last couple of years, it's been a little more low key with all the restrictions and stuff. I know last year I don't think they had like any music or anything.
Okay.
But they're kind of back full force this year. They will have live music, also games for the kids, food trucks on hand.
I mean, you got to have that.
Cold beer, come on now. Kind of some different demos and displays. You've got arts and crafts, miniature ponies. Come on.
Okay.
Gotta go check out the ponies.
Yeah, food trucks, mini ponies. What more do you need?
Exactly. It's earlier in the day. What does it go, 10 to 4?
10 to 4, I think, yes.
Yeah, so kind of your earlier plans. And like we said, usually it'd be like the perfect combo. You go do that earlier part of the day. Oh, later on we'll go watch the fireworks show. But again, no show at the mall this year.
I wonder what the deal is with that. I mean, I guess that there must be some other kind of fireworks celebration happening in Missoula. Like somebody else will be doing it, right? Theoretically, maybe.
I mean, we're 2 weeks out.
And we are 2 weeks out, yeah.
Heard word of any sort of, big display. So
right.
I'm guessing not.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess. I mean, if you go up on a hill or whatever, you'll be able to see like individuals doing their own fireworks, at their homes and stuff. That might be the way to do it this year, I guess.
Some of those are pretty impressive, though.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Like when you're picking out your spot and you're waiting for the mall show to start, you're like, wow, look at that. Or even when the mall show's happening, you kind of got a different one off in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some pretty good stuff.
Tends to be some pretty cool ones. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. If you're thinking of what you're going to do, trying to make plans for the 4th, 4th at the Fort is back. No fireworks at the mall this year. Details with both of those stories with your KISS FM mobile app.
Yep, this is your local country morning show. No bones about it. Smith and Nelson on 94.9 KISS FM. Craving Smith and Nelson's Odds and Ends on 94.9 KISS FM.
Yes, it is some odds and ends for your morning. The Hollywood Walk of Fame class of 2023 was announced on Friday. Total of 24 entertainers being recognized throughout the upcoming year, and they will include Uma Thurman, Vince Vaughn, Ludacris, Bill Pullman, director John Waters, Paul Walker, going to get one posthumously, Jonas Brothers, Lenny Kravitz, Mark Anthony, Blake Shelton getting in there, Jon Favreau, Mindy Kaling, Martin Lawrence, Ralph Macchio, and Ellen Pompeo. Ceremony date's not announced yet.
Why so many people per year?
I guess because they do it like throughout the year, not all at once, I think. So it's like, every couple of weeks, get another Walk of Fame person in there, I think.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
New York Post has a story. It says a couple in Omaha recently found 6,000 bees inside the walls.
That's arguably too many bees to be found inside the walls.
Their 100-year-old home, they knew there was an issue when they heard bees buzzing in the walls and then saw bees flying through their house. A couple members of the Omaha Bee Club charged them $600 to relocate the bees in their hives. It sounds like a bargain and a steal right there.
Yeah, right?
I'd be thinking thousands of dollars.
Right.
No, give me $600.
Yeah,
all good.
They'll do it. That's pretty good. This is pretty wild. Sesame Street had an episode almost 50 years ago that received so many parent complaints that it was too scary for their kids that they pulled it from their rotation. But now, you can see that episode, finally, for the first time in about 50 years. That episode from 1976 has made its way online thanks to Reddit. I guess the reason why parents complained that it was scary is because it had a guest appearance from Margaret Hamilton, who was the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz, and she plays that role again in this episode. And I guess that scared kids back in the day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Amazon announcing their Prime Days for the year. Put it on your calendar. July 12th and July 13th.
All right.
Those will be your 2 Prime Days.
Yes, it used to just be Prime Day, and now it's more like Prime Week now. They say like those are the 2 Prime Days. It's going to be like a full week of deals on happening there. Researchers in Australia have tracked how good people are at keeping a beat. Looked at more than 600,000 people's DNA using stats from the site 23andMe. Discovered 69 different genetic variants associated with rhythm, and they say that about 15% of those are hereditary. So if you are a bad dancer, it is partly passed down from your parents.
Which also goes to prove when you send your DNA off, you just never know who's going to use it.
That's also true, yeah.
Somebody wants to do a dance study. Yeah?
They can do it.
Passing on your DNA.
Yeah.
All right, some things on this date. How about 1877? First commercial telephone service installed by Alexander Graham Bell in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. This date, 1988, Price is Right model Janice Pennington was knocked out by a TV camera. I've never heard of this.
No, but I'm glad that's recorded in history.
I'm immediately going to YouTube here as soon as we're done. This date, 94, O.J. Simpson pleaded not guilty to the charges of murdering his ex-wife and her friend. This date, in 2004. Here's another wild one. It says organizers at a Paul McCartney concert hired 3 jets to spray dry ice into the clouds so that it wouldn't rain during the Paul McCartney concert.
Wow. The
show in Russia was McCartney's 3,000th concert appearance.
That's pretty wild.
Is that a thing? Just to be like,
I had never heard of that before.
Okay, clouds, we don't want you to. We don't want any rain, so we're just gonna freeze you with dry ice.
I guess it's not something you can easily do. You need to be like a Beatle in order to make that happen.
Yes, you gotta have the power.
Yeah,
that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
That's wild.
Birthdays today. Nicole Kidman is 55. John Goodman is 70 today.
That's pretty wild.
And Lionel Richie's 73.
Okay.
There you go. Odds and ends for the morning. It's KISS.
Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM.
Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM. Smith and Nelson doing it for your morning, doing it for your Monday, which is always a big day around here. Not only because we're back to work. Yes, we know that. But cookie delivery for breakfast.
That's the big thing, for sure.
Who says you got to think Mondays are negative? Get cookie delivery for breakfast from Crumbl Cookies.
Yes.
As we do every week, and on the phone with us, as we do on Mondays, getting the rundown on all these great flavors of the week, Heather from Crumbl. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning, guys.
How are you?
Cookies on Monday. Well, I'm great, and I'm glad you guys have cookies on Monday to just start your week off just perfectly.
Not a bad way to start.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
And not a bad way to end it either on a Friday when we deliver cookies to somebody at work.
That's also true. Yeah, we bookend the week with cookies.
I was going to say the same thing. Bookend your week. I love it.
All right, Crumbl Cookies on North Reserve. The cool part with Crumbl is that every week it's a different set of flavors. Every Monday it's a whole new rotation. So Heather does the honors and kind of breaks them down for us. What are we looking at here for the week?
Oh, for the week, this cookie, I love this cookie. The first one I'm going to start off with because in high school, my best friend, it was her favorite flavor of ice cream, and Crumbl knew that, made a cookie for her, but it's the Rocky Road. Long story short, Rocky Road, chocolate cookie. We put a just real live, fat, juicy marshmallow in the middle of it, bake that out, and then it turns melty, and we have semi-sweet chocolate chips and almonds all over that cookie.
Tough to go wrong with Rocky Road.
Absolutely, yeah.
You sure can't. I mean, Rocky Road, it's just delicious.
Is that actually how it's made? Like one full big marshmallow in the middle, and then it just melts?
Just melts, just blah,
oh, that's cool.
all over.
Man.
Yeah.
Because you would think like it'd be like, oh, maybe some like marshmallow cream or something on top.
Yeah.
No, it's an actual marshmallow in the cookie.
Love that.
Just a giant marshmallow in that cookie.
Authentic.
Weird Al was onto something with Rocky Road.
Exactly. Blueberry cheesecake. Everyone loves our cheesecake cookies. This one is a buttery graham cracker cookie. We have our creamy cheesecake frosting and with a dollop of fresh blueberry topping on top. Blueberry cheesecake.
Cheesecake. It's just one of those classics, and you do it so good in cookie form.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where if you don't want to eat a whole cheesecake at the moment, or a whole slice of cheesecake, I should say, you go for the cookie instead. It's a good option.
Yeah, of course. This next cookie, honey bun, it's very simple, but it's just so delicious. It's a cinnamon cookie. We smother it with honey butter glaze, and it just is a melt-in-your-mouth cookie. Served warm and yummy.
It's another one of those cookies where, sometimes you have cookies that are like donuts, cookies that are like pies.
Right.
Yeah, this is another one of those ones where you're like, oh, that's a honey bun. Wait a minute, that's a cookie.
That's a honey bun. That's right. Next, Galaxy Brownie. Now, this is just a brownie cookie, so it's just very cake-like, very yummy. It's got the warm fudge glaze over the top, and then we have those little rainbow candy bits that we sprinkle across the top. Galaxy Brownie.
Yeah, we've got one coworker here who loves the Galaxy Brownie cookie, and we got to let him know that it's here, because otherwise he'll get very upset when he finds out, and it's gone.
When he's looking through the menu, and you hear a scream from the other end of the
exactly.
We keep our eye on the window here, the studio door, because when we see someone doing cartwheels down the hall, that's usually him.
He loves the Galaxy Brownie.
Yes.
Well, for good reason. It is a delicious cookie. And then our new cookie of the week, and this one is served chilled. It is cookie butter ice cream. Now, this one is super exciting. So it's a brown sugar cookie, which is something a little different for us. We have cookie butter buttercream. Say that 3 times fast. Cookie butter buttercream. And then we crumble it with the cookie butter pieces. So
nice. Yeah. I think this one is probably my favorite of the week, actually, which I love when like a new cookie's introduced and it's like already it's the favorite already. It's great.
It kind of has it kind of has that is biscotti or whatever. It kind of has that taste to it too.
Yep. That's kind of if you think of a cookie butter cookie, that those biscotti cookies. That's where that all comes from. So if you're wondering, if you're like, I've never had cookie butter, what are they talking about? If you've had one of those cookies, you've had cookie butter.
There you go.
All right, there you go. Flavors of the week. Cookie butter ice cream, galaxy brownie, honey bun, rocky road, blueberry cheesecake, and milk chocolate chip. Heather, you guys have done it again.
Oh, yes, we have. So come get a pink box full of delicious cookies.
All right, there's your flavors of the week. Heather, we'll talk with you next Monday, and you'll be back to run down a whole new set of flavors.
Oh, my gosh, I can't wait. Have a good week.
There you go.
All right.
Heather from Crumbl Cookies, and it's not just cookies at Crumbl. Come on now. They have their Crumbl Cream, delicious ice cream flavors. You can have Crumbl catered for your next event.
Absolutely. So many different things you can do with Crumbl Cookies.
They deliver, get a gift card. There you go. So much to do with Crumbl. They're on North Reserve. Check them out online at Crumbl, but leave the E off, just Crumbl. Cookies.com.
Yes, and of course on Friday we'll be out delivering Crumbl cookies to somebody's workplace for free Cookie Friday. Head to the Win Stuff page at KissFM.com or your free Kiss FM mobile app to enter.
Smith and Nelson in the morning on 94.9 KISS FM. Northwest. You know, newsworthy nugget of the day with Smith and Nelson on 94.9 KISS FM.
Brought to you by Farside Sign, Missoula's leading full-service sign and custom vehicle graphic shop. Farside Sign in the 2200 block of South Avenue West.
We try to lay a little knowledge down with the nugget every morning. Something we found and we think, everybody can't know about this.
Right. Yeah, this is an interesting kind of thing. And this is going back to the year 2007 when Scotland spent $150,000 devising a new national slogan. They were like, the time has come. We got to figure out a new way to bring people to Scotland, show off this new slogan. They hired this big advertising firm, top executives, lots of studies being done, spend $150,000, and the results of all that money and hard work.
Let me guess. Keep the same slogan?
No, it wasn't keep the same slogan. The result was instead, welcome to Scotland. That's the slogan they came up with. That's what $150,000 buys you.
That is a waste of money, but also it doesn't seem like it was that expensive to hire consultants and research and all that.
Yeah, I think the government may have gotten the ringer, like put through the ringer with this advertising firm. Whatever happened here, but their previous slogan was better. It said the other slogan was Scotland, the best small country in the world. Like that, that kind of gives you a little bit more detail, a little more info about what Scotland's all about.
Welcome to Scotland.
Welcome to Scotland became the new slogan in 2007 after $150,000 were spent on
They're
it.
like, it's already on the sign at the airport. Let's just use it.
Let's just use it. Need to or not, now you know.